Welcome to another episode of Fairytale Friday. This book I got from my local library. It's called African American Stories, edited by Susan Cantor. A Home for Sun and Moon. This myth from Tanganyika shows how an inability to admit a mistake leads to unforeseen and unintended consequences. At the beginning of time, Sun and Water both lived on the earth and were the dearest friends. Sun frequently visited where Water lived, and they spent many hours chatting together. But Water never visited Sun where he lived, and Sun started to wonder why. One day, Sun finally asked his friend, "How come neither you nor your family ever come to pay me a visit? My wife, the moon, and I would be very happy to offer you our hospitality." Water smiled and said, "I do apologize for not having visited you, but the fact is that your house is far too small for me and all my relations. I fear that we would drive you and your wife out the doors." "But we are about to build a new place," said Sun. "Will you come and visit us if it is big enough?" "It would have to be very large indeed for me to come in," explained Water. "My people take up so much space. What if we damage your belongings?" Sun thought Water was just making an excuse for not visiting him, and his disappointment was noticeable. To make Sun feel better, Water promised to visit him when his new place was ready. So Sun and Moon started to work on their new home. With the help of many friends, they built an enormous mansion. When it was completed, Sun said to Water, "Surely you can visit us now, for our new place is large enough to hold many visitors." But Water was not convinced. Nevertheless, because a visit meant so much to Sun, Water began moving towards Sun's new home. Through the enormous front doors he flowed, bringing with him thousands of fish, water rats, and even some water snakes. But now, the water level was knee-deep. "Do you still want my relatives and me to enter farther into your home?" Water asked politely. "Yes, of course," replied the silly Sun. "Bring them all in." So Water continued to flow into the new house until finally Sun and Moon were forced to climb onto the roof to keep dry. "Are you sure you still want my relatives and me to come into your house?" Water asked again. After insisting for so long that Water come to visit, Sun was too embarrassed to admit that it was not a good idea. Instead, Sun said, "Yes, of course! I want everyone in! Bring everyone in!" Finally, Water rose to the very top of the roof, forcing Sun and Moon up into the sky, where they have remained ever since. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fairytale Friday. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to let me know what stories you'd like to hear next. Till we read again.